All right, what is going on, everybody? My goodness, have we had a night of Rocket League action for you guys as the content has been flowing all night long. We've been put behind by multiple thrilling game sevens, upsets galore going down, and you know what? I had to bring this guy back. This man, Merely Mental, I had to bring him back in the booth because Merely, last time we got in the booth here for the final match of the night, it went to 7, so you know why not try to repeat that same feat?
Yeah, I mean, with how things have been going so far tonight, it would honestly be more surprising if we didn't get an insane game seven or something unheard of. But yeah, we are going to be getting into this one right off the bat. I've got my own predictions for this one. I also want to get yours, Austin. Who do you think's gonna take this one?
Well, we got Gambits versus Sirens first off, everyone. And in the Provisional League, 2 versus 3. You know, I'm leaning towards the Gambits in this one. I feel like the Crotera peak is gonna be too strong for the Sirens to handle, but you know, the Sirens, they've got a lot of great players here on this roster, multiple all-stars, so don't be surprised if the Sirens can stick it to them here as we get things underway. But what do you think? What do you think about this one, Mary? What are your hot takes as we head in this one? Players to watch out for.
Of course, I am not the absolute most familiar with the provisional league, but what I will say is that I think the Sirens are going to take this one. They had a really nice win against Wolfpack coming in. Yeah, sure, they're the 8 seed, but still a pretty nice game. And what I think is going to make a huge difference is the fact that Gambits hasn't had the chance to play very many games so far. As far as playoffs go, this is their first game. And I think that that might have the most impact on a team who's just kind of been sitting on the sidelines. But let's see if they can wake back up and take this one as they are supposed to.
Yeah, and what we have seen, folks, in this playoff so far, we saw the Provisional League, the massive upset, Uprising, taking down Dissonance, the #1 seed. They swept them. So maybe there is some fact to this here. As the dunk comes through, Nolly put in the back of the net. The Sirens, they strike first.
And that's a great goal to start off. Fly Penguin with a nice double touch, putting the defense in a pickle. And Nolly will come in to finish it off, just getting a massive dunk there.
Yeah, that's a massive dunk, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. And, you know, like you mentioned, coming a little bit cold maybe are the Gambits. That's the one thing about the Provisional League, this 16 playoff, is not only did they have to wait for the play-in tournament, but they had to wait for the entire first week of the playoffs. So they haven't played merely, it's almost 3 weeks now since they last played a league play match.
And your first match back is the one that is for your spot in the grand finals. It definitely also adds to the importance of Sirens here coming out hot, which they have started off game 1 with. See if they can keep it going. So there might be an offensive get together here. The demo comes through, but nothing found on offense just yet as Sirens remain up 1-0.
Yeah, Sirens holding on to this lead, and I completely agree with you. It's very important here if the Sirens want to pull this upset, they got to strike first and put the pressure on as they have the lead here, but the Gambits trying to make something happen here out in the midfield. The dunk attempt coming through. This one we banged off the backward by Aiko. Can be cleared away to the corner, but here comes a shot attempt. Fly Penguin just off the post. Follow-up attempt from Nolly. Not quite going to find it there. This ball hangs around to the side here, but the Sirens still holding on to their 1-0 lead just for the moment. As Crotera looking to take this one, trying to 50 through the midfield, going to find a demo. Is Gordon going to get this one off the sidewall, looking for another touch, but that one going to be banged away. A huge opportunity going to be cut down there as Crotera sends this one back up. Aiko has to get to, but Crotera is going to put it in the back of the net, and the Gambits get their first goal of the playoffs.
And it's barely their first shot of the game, but that's all you need sometimes if it's good enough. Crotera a little bit faster than Aiko, who tried to pre-jump in front of the shot. You got to be a little bit more defensively oriented on those ones, but Gambit's bringing it back 1-1. Are they waking up now?
They may have just woken up here as they finally find their first goal, but what do the Sirens have in store here? They've had a couple of good offensive drives. They're going to need some more here to try to bring this one back. This ball in midfield from Gordon. Opportunity, but a double commit comes through. Sirens have a great opportunity. The net is wide open, as wide as it gets. Fly Penguin trying to find it through, but the save comes back from Crotera just in time. But Aiko trying to get it there, and merely that was a shot the Sirens are going to want back.
And you really feel like that one was very scoreable. At first, they took a little bit too long to shoot and then rushed it a little bit too quickly. Props to Gambit for keeping the follow-up out, though. That was still a difficult position. A good shot did come through. Scoreline will remain even though the Sirens have had the majority of the pressure. Gambits can just keep surviving, it looks like they will be getting more opportunities at counterattacking.
Yeah, definitely so. And you always gotta love the counterattacks here, especially the Provisional League. They can come fast and furious. This one floating down in front of the net, but gonna be cleared away. This Fly Penguin gonna get a touch, try and take this one down off to the side there. Gordon gonna find a touch. Cortera, a little bit of side flip could lead to something, but the Gambits, two defenders collide to get that one away. This wall pinched out. Opportunity for Nolly looking for that dunk, but not quite gonna find it on the net here. As now here comes Fly Penguin, trying to send it in, but gonna be cleared out to the side. And with a minute remaining here, merely both these teams only one goal to their names. And I'm curious, how do you think this final minute's gonna play out? Does anyone have the edge really right now?
It doesn't really feel like that's been determined yet. A lot of back and forth so far in this one. It seems like the Sirens have had the majority of the pressure, but Gambits are starting to find their own now. Things are definitely still developing. The teams are feeling each other out, trying to poke holes in those weaknesses, trying to find those. That's a big miss. Could be a little bit unfortunate here, but the next goal has to be the game winner. You're starting to feel like the pressure is being put on under the test on both ends.
Yeah, definitely so. Final 30 seconds here of game number 1. A spot in the grand finals, a take on Uprising is on the line. Sirens gonna find a demo there. Gordon, not quite the best touch. It's gonna be sent off to the corner there. Cortera gonna try to take control up to the ceiling. In the air there, Cortera trying to take it down, looking for something there, but it's gonna be denied away. Final 10 seconds of regulation here. This ball gonna hit off to the side. Nolly gonna send it down. It could be an opportunity. Cortera has to make the touch to his corner there. It's down, but it's gonna hit the ground, and we got overtime barely in game number 1.
And if there was ever a sign that you might be on track to a 7-game series, overtime in the first game is a pretty good signifier. Could also mean a lot of other things, though. Let's see how this one plays out. Will the trend continue? Will it be the Sirens dictating the pressure, or will it be just a massive shot? That one's just going to go off. The defense manages to come back, and Sirens also showing that they are more than capable of playing the defensive half.
Yeah, they really are able to lock it down, and we've seen that in the Provisional Leagues thus far in the playoffs and the postseason. It's so important to have a solid defense here. If you can lock it down, you know, that's almost the most important thing. If Nolly can drive by this one, trying to make something happen. Oh my goodness, Nolly! What is that triple? Nolly wins game 1 for the Sirens.
What a mind game. The swing pass, the other swing pass, Gordon had no idea where the ball was going. Oh, somebody get this man a map. A beautiful outplay, and Sirens take game 1.
He put him in a blender merely, and he has got himself a drink there, and he's got himself a game 1 victory. As my goodness, the Sirens there, definitely the underdogs in this matchup, but you know, what a win right there by them. And you know, merely that's what we talked about. If you want to pull the upset here, you know, as the lower seed, as the underdogs, you got to come through with that first game, really put the pressure to the Gambits.
Now that's the first piece of the puzzle that's been put into place for the Sirens. But there's about 1,000 pieces left to go, so don't get to celebrating just yet. Sirens got a lot of work ahead of themselves, and the Gambits, maybe a little bit of introspection, a little bit of, you know, studying time on how to get back into the same form that earned them this spot in the semifinals without playing at all in the playoffs. They've got to prove themselves as well.
Yeah, they definitely do. They have got quite a bit to prove to show everyone, you know, why you are the best team or one of the best teams. You know, they really made that run at the end of the season to get to that 2 seed, taking down Dissonance, who had not lost up to that point. Obviously now they had lost to Uprising too, but the Gambits, they were a surprise team. They were on the come up here in the latter half of the season and really battled back. And now, as you mentioned, as we head into this game number 2, you got to prove to everyone why you are the favorites. We've seen 1 seed to go down merely, as I think now there's only one seed remaining with the Griffins in Challenger, the only 1 seed remaining. So really, you know, it all comes down to how you play at this time in the postseason.
And this is why we always say postseason is not the same game as regular season. Things are much different. You really might not think the pressure adds that much, but the Sirens are adding a lot of pressure here. That's another first goal of the game for them. They're keeping up their momentum.
Yeah, they really are. A nice touch comes across there, and Nolly is all on top of that one. And the Sirens here, goodness merely, they are bringing it up. And, you know, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. You know, obviously it's a long way in this series, but it's reminding me a lot of, you know, we saw in the first Provisional League matchup where Uprising, you know, kind of took it to that top seed. And, you know, when you come out with 2, you know, with game number 1 take the victory and game number 2, with this early lead, you know, the pressure just immediately, the Gambits are definitely feeling it right now.
They definitely are, and they're trying to get things going, managing to find a little bit of success in these little ones, but they're not able to put it all together to get these goals here. Still plenty of time left, so I'm sure complete panic hasn't ensued just yet, as it shouldn't have. But you do have to be wondering, what do we gotta do to get through this Sirens defense, which has been looking exceptional in games 1 and games 2.
Yeah, it really has. They've been locking it down and finding their own opportunities. How do you break through this ball? An opportunity, but the Sirens, yet again, going to clear down off the backboard opportunity, but it's going to be sent away. This one off the backboard for the Gambits, looking for an opportunity, but Nolly going to shut it down. So again, they're holding strong, and the Gambits really have yet to break through it. A huge mistake there from Crotera on the backboard, and Nolly is going to make them pay.
And it's Nolly once again. He's the thorn in the side of the Gambits right now. Crotera just barely makes a misplay, and not a second later, Nolly there to clean it up. He's panned his own stats. He's panned the Sirens stats. And he's putting them in a great position to take this game number 2 here.
Yeah, just an absolutely huge position right there, as this one going to be popped up high a little bit off there. And now the Gambits, they got to find a way to battle back. And, you know, Crotera is that star player here for the Gambits. A huge mistouch on the backboard. Got to try to lock it down as he's trying to make this touch. Can't quite connect. Gordon versus Fly Penguin there. That ball going to be stopped for a moment. Shadow going to dive in. This ball sent off to the side. Ball popped up now in the midfield. Aiko going to make the touch and send it away. As the pinch comes through, Gambits back on the attack here, trying to get this ball down. They're going to 50 it through, but no follow is going to happen here. And we have passed the halfway point merely in this one. The Sirens holding on to their 2-0 lead as the Gambits are starting to threaten just a little bit here, as this one is going to find the bottom of the net. Gordon with a huge angle to put it in.
And finally, after so much bumpage, Crotera in the net, they have had to fight for this goal, but they got it on the board. And now a 1-2 scoreline, much more manageable. Gambit showing that they do have the ability to break down this Sirens defense. They're going to have to do a little bit more if they want to win this game. It was a close one.
Yeah, that one was a close one there, and the Gambits, they finally get on the board here in this game number 2. But can they battle back? Can they try to tie this game up and get a lead here? This one going to be sent out into the Siren zone. Aiko trying to connect, but not quite able to. The ball is floating dangerously. A huge mistake, and DRX Shadow puts it home.
And I've complimented their defense so much, but eventually the Provisional is just too strong. Aiko getting caught up a little bit too much on defense. They're in awkward position, frozen in the headlights, and now a tie game. The Gambits bringing it back. If you're the Sirens, you really don't want to let that 2-0 lead go for nothing.
Yeah, definitely not here, as they now find themselves in a tie ball game. The Sirens, it's so important to put the pressure on these Gambits here. Take this 2-0 series lead and, you know, possibly force the timeout right away here in this one, but instead, this ball going to be sent off the backward. Sirens looking to attack. This ball popped up. A demo comes through, but it's going to actually open up some space here for the Gambits now as they try to take it back here off the backboard. Ball popped up in midfield. Crotera trying to wait, but Nolly just enough of a touch. Able to get down to Aiko. This ball stopped in the midfield. Sirens now sending this one up high into the corner. And we drop down. This one off to the side there. Going to be popped up in the midfield. Dangerous ball. Crotera trying to get back to it. Going to send it away for a moment, but merely now a minute remaining here. And the Gambits, they have made this comeback, but can they complete it?
And only time will tell, but they have done well thus far, bringing it back to an even score line, and now putting even more pressure on. They look a lot more formidable than they did in games 1 and games 2. Sirens as well, struggling to deal with it, struggling to deal with the pressure as another one sent back into the Gambit zone. As this somewhat devolves into a game of ping pong, the ball being sent back and forth once again. Feels like even though it's not overtime just yet, we are in another golden goal scenario.
Yeah, it does feel like that too. Is here comes DRX Shadow looking for the shot there. It's going to fall off the ceiling. Gordon trying to get back up to it, but Fly Penguin with the dunk. Could it be a counter? No, it's going to be cleared away by Crotera, who's there just in time and actually going to snag that boost up. Looking to pinch it down. Can he turn it on net there? Trying to pop it off the backboard. Shot attempt. Shadow comes through. What a play from the Gambits.
And there they are, the Gambits. They are waking up here in game 2. A beautiful outplay by Crotera. The follow-up and finish by Shadow. Well done. And now 9 seconds left. They've just got to kill a little bit of time.
And they kill the final 9 seconds here, though, or do the Sirens have something in the bag? Quick kickoff attempt from Nolly. It's going to send up to the side here. Time desperately ticking away. Shadow going to dive in. It's off the ceiling. It's Sirens. Can they keep this ball up? They're going to send it down.
Wait.
Over there is Nolly, but denied away and sent to the ground. As there you have it, folks. The Gambits merely, they're going to come through, and they're going to win this game here and tie up this series at one piece.
Now that they've seen that the Sirens might be in a little bit of trouble here, back to an even game score. We've got nothing but a best of 5 ahead of us to determine who goes to the grand finals. And the Gambits looked much better, especially in the second half of this game, which is what I feel like is a little bit telling, as it looks like we're having a sub out for the Sirens. So definitely they feel like they need a little bit of a change as well. They're actually going to sub out Penguin. It's an interesting call there.
It is an interesting call, but LaBerry, who they're going to be bringing in here, has been a very solid player for these Sirens this season. So maybe, trying to switch things up a little bit. And, that's the one thing I think I've seen with Provisional. I feel like if any league uses their subs, it's Provisional. They have usually 4-man rosters that can sub in at any time. I've seen it with Uprising, who made it to the grand finals, and the Sirens. It appears they've got a 4-man roster in the banks as well here. So we're gonna have to see, though, if that is the right call, and maybe it is.
Yeah, who knows? We'll have to see. As you really felt like the Sirens weren't playing that poorly, but if you can sense that something's going wrong and you think you have a solution, might as well put on there. Whatever choice you make, you just gotta make it with full confidence. And let's see what this field can do, what the Sirens can do with the new confidence of having a new player on the pitch. So far, it's Crotera, actually, who's got the confidence, and he's keeping the Gambit's momentum going.
Yeah, don't let this man get going. His Shadow and Crotera have been a dangerous duo off the backboard, and Crotera quickly did not want to shoot it on net. A nice play right there. And yeah, I don't mind this substitution from the Sirens here. I do like LaBerry's play style a lot here. They've been good for the Sirens, but is it enough? Does it disrupt the chemistry too much here? Does it give the Gambit some confidence now, knowing like, hey, they're making a sub out because we are the better team, and does it get them going? That is probably the biggest concern here as we're into this game number 3 here of the Provisional League semifinals, the last semifinals matchup of the season. Here is this ball up off the backboard. Oh my goodness, Nolly on their head.
And if there's one person who's been getting it done for the Sirens, that has been Nolly Gordon. See you later. Thanks for the pass. I'm pushing that one right through you. What a dunk, and what a great play to bring them back on equal ground.
Yeah, that one just huge. And you mentioned it, Nolly, the player of the week, one-time player of the week here in the Provisional League. But like you mentioned, if there's anyone to carry this Sirens team, it's got to be Nolly. They are the one here to do it, and so far they scored quite a few goals for this team, and they're looking for another one here, but can be blocked away for the moment as LaBerry going to try to challenge on this one, looking for a second there, actually going to get it by 2, but the cut there from Crotera is going to keep the pressure for the moment. Dive through. Gordon has an open net to shoot at, but no, it's going to go off the crossbar there, or off the backboard, excuse me, and a great opportunity gone to waste. A couple whiffs coming to the midfield, some provisional moments, and this one floating off the backboard. Opportunity part 2, but it's going to be only sent to the side, and actually rolling back up in the midfield. The demo comes out here, but merely some chaos on both ends here.
We are starting to see a little bit of message coming out, quite a bit actually, as both teams may be getting a little bit nervous, realizing they are getting into the mid-game of the series. Some of these moments here might be the most important ones for making it to the grand finals or losing out. Aiko trying to get a strong shot. Gordon, super awkward. He won't be able to get there, and he's fallen off. Aiko with a beautiful shot.
Yeah, and it seemed like the Sirens, no offense to Gordon, but they've been taking advantage of Gordon as the third man, and Gordon just couldn't quite get the touch, so close to getting that one out. But it seems like multiple times merely Gordon's been getting dunked out or balled as the last defender, and maybe Crotera and DRX are kind of leaving him in too much of an island.
It does seem that way, especially the dunk, you could definitely forgive on that one. That ball was such a floater, it felt like there should have been a village instead of one lone islander to take care of that problem. Gordon was not able to, and for that, the Gambits will go down 1 goal. But moving forward, if the Gambits do want to just go onto an offensive-only playstyle, got to figure out how to get out of their half. And so far in this game, the Sirens have been living in theirs.
Yeah, definitely so. And the Sirens putting on an offensive clinic. This is what you got to do here. It's Cortera. Gonna send this one down. It's off the back sidewall there. Gonna pop up in the midfield. Opportunity now. LeBerry versus Gordon. Gonna find that 50. Aiko gonna look to get to it. Gonna find that dunk. It's popping up high. Kind of towards the net, but Sirens not quite able to attack as this ball's gonna get by one. Shadow looking to stay with it. This one hits off the ceiling. Barry gonna send it down to Cortera. Gonna try to this one. This one's gonna be 50 right towards the net. A huge win for Cortera to put it in. And the Gambits, they strike back.
That's a nice little bit of vengeance there. Cortera just full sending the challenge. And I believe it was Aiko was not quite ready for that one. Now 2 challenges will even us up. And as close as this series has been, it really feels impossible to determine who is going to be the victor of any of these games.
It definitely does here, as that one was a huge opportunity. The Sirens got caught out on basically a triple commit in the midfield. All 3 defenders were right next to that challenge, and Cortera just had to get it by 1 to get it to the net. And he does, and now 2-2 with under 2 minutes remaining. All tied at a 1-1 series. Who is going to make a play here and give themselves a 2-1 series lead? Put themselves up. Nolly trying to be the hero. This one popped out the midfield, but
no.
LeBerry just can't quite get to it. A little bit of a double jump comes through. Maybe not expecting that great of a pass, but you know, you almost have to, merely with the way Nolly has been playing in the series.
And that was just a little bit slow from the offense there. It was a great look. Still love to see it from the Sirens. Just a little bit more clinical, and they would have had that one play in the books. Now they have to worry about the Gambits, and worry they will. That one falling through, not quite a goal. They will survive. They'll live to see another rotational play, as the Gambits are really starting to try and go all in on these attacks.
Yeah, they really are here, but under a minute remaining now. It's the Sirens who are on the attack. LeBerry off the backboard. Nolly has to back up and leave it for Aiko. They're going to send it off the backboard here, out in the midfield. Looking to be sent down back. Actually, kind of towards the net there, just a little bit wide, but this ball's still going to be up. Shadow can't connect. Cortera trying to dive in. Nolly with a dunk, but this ball's so dangerous. Dropping down to the midfield, but Cortera can't quite put it through. And the final 35 seconds left here of this game number 3, and we could be very well seeing overtime here, really.
We could be seeing some overtime, if not for some late game heroics. That's a beautiful pass, but Cortera manages to just barely get here. We're seeing so much offense, and finally, it's the Gambits once again. They wait till the last 20 seconds, and then they steal the game away from the Sirens.
Yeah, LeBerry trying to cut off this angle, so close to getting that ball, but Cortera just squeaks it by. And once again, it's the Sirens who got to make a miracle happen here in the final 16 seconds of this game 3. What do they got in their tanks here? This ball is up. A shot, and they have that from Aiko.
What a shot from Aiko just off the kickoff, sure. But look at that air roll, just barely getting it past 2 people. And that'll keep them in this. They didn't want to go down 2-1. They said, it's not over just yet. Let's keep playing.
Let's keep playing indeed, as Aiko, you're exactly right. Look at that air roll shot. It was a high caliber shot there. You don't see too often down here in Nemesis' lowest league here in the Provisional League. But now, the final seconds of regulation. Will we see overtime? Will we see a game-winning goal? Well, we will see a game-winning goal as we do head to overtime here now on this game number 3 here, Beckwith Park. And really, I mean, what an answer for the Sirens. It just seemed like right when they might be out, they find a way to battle back.
Yeah, it really felt like we were going to have a repeat of game 2 where the Gambits just score in the final seconds and then manage to kill off the time. But one good kickoff is all it takes, although it could be another goal for the Gambits. That one will be sent out, and now it's Nolly. He's been the man, but he doesn't have any boost. And things more back and forth than ever now. The Gambits might have, felt a little bit of incensed by getting that final goal, thinking that they're going to have it, but they'll never have it as long as Nolly's on the pitch. He puts in another one, and Sirens take game 3.
It's the Nolly masterclass here as this ball pops in the midfield. And Nolly just says, I'm just going to pop this one right in the back of your net, and I will take this game win for my team. Yet again, another overtime victory for the Sirens, their 2nd of the series, and merely, I mean, what a performance from them to get this 2-1 series lead.
That was phenomenal. The clutch goal to keep them in it, keep it going to overtime, and then the overtime goal as well. Nolly with 2 goals, Aiko with 2 goals as well. A beautiful performance from them to keep it in. And if we were expecting a close game this whole time, but I don't know if we were expecting a game this close necessarily.
Yeah, no, I wasn't really sure what to expect, but merely honestly, the Provisional League, they have given us more content than we could imagine, really. And I mean, right now, both these teams are giving us all that we could ever ask for here. And I mean, the Sirens, definitely the underdogs here, merely, but maybe digging into a little bit of underdog mentality to win these 2 games. And I mean, it's just scrappy to win in overtime.
Yeah, I mean, they've had to dig deep and they've been able to do it twice now. Only 2 more, and they'll be sent off to the grand finals. Meanwhile, you gotta wonder what Gambit's thinking right now. The Sirens, as soon as they lost a single game, they made that sub out. They've had the adaptations to keep themselves in this one. I mean, what kind of adaptations should we be seeing out of Gambits here, do you think, Austin?
For this one, as we head into this game number 4 here of this series, I feel like the Gambits, they gotta play through their carries here. They gotta play through Crotera and they gotta play through Durex, Shadow here. And Gordon, I've talked about leaving Gordon on the island a little bit before, but they gotta connect with these two, DRX and Crotera. They gotta connect in that one. You gotta hit. It's gotta be those two, and Gordon's gotta fill that solid third man. And I feel like that's been the Gambit's recipe for success. But it's gonna be a shot on net there. It's gonna be saved on the goal line, but here comes Gordon to try to find the finish. He does, and that's exactly what you need in a third man. Finish up.
Absolutely. Crotera puts a threatening shot on net. Save not quite good enough, and Gordon, there he is, in the perfect position to put that one away. Gambits maybe trying to get a little bit of the momentum on their side. Let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah, what we'll have to see is they strike first here, but again, we've seen the Sirens been able to battle back this ball high off the backboard opportunity. Here comes that man again. Oh my goodness, Nolly. Stop it.
And he doesn't care. He doesn't care who's in front of the net. He's just going to go, and he's going to put it in the back. Another phenomenal 50-50. And the Gambits, they can't live with being ahead 1 goal for very long. The Sirens are just going to bring it back.
Yeah, Nolly just appears to be that difference maker for the Sirens. That's, multiple times we've seen a dunk from Nolly in this series, trying to propel his team to the grand finals versus Uprising. Right now, they have a 2-1 series lead, but we are tied in this game number 4 here. This ball high off the backboard, follow-up attempt. TRX Shadow, it's going to pop out of midfield. No follow-up attempt is that one. Screamed off the post, and Aiko sends it down, gets the flat tire, and Aiko puts it home.
It's disaster for the Gambits. Oh, that was so close, but the worst bounce ever. Combined with one of the most ill-informed touches, and Aiko manages to get it past. A great offensive opportunity turns into a defensive blunder, and the Sirens, somehow they end up back on top once again.
Yeah, and I mean, that one merely, maybe living up to the name a little bit, a Gambit there. You thought it was an open net, but actually it's going in your net. The counterplay was a little too much. They might have given up a little too much there on that one, and unfortunately for the Gambits, they now find themselves in another hole here, down 2-1. But this one opportunity, but Crotera can't quite turn it on net. As now this one hard off the backboard, but DRX had been erased off the map for the moment as Crotera really sticking with his ball, kind of took it away from his teammate. But this one high off the backboard, opportunity for Shadow, not going to quite make the touch. Here comes Gordon for the placement, upper 90, and Gordon, have yourself a little game here.
Gordon is stepping up here, most definitely. Shadow fakes out the first touch, intentional or not. Gordon with the perfect placement, just directly into the top right. And if there was a better time to show up, I don't think you could have let me know, because Gordon is playing perfectly now.
Yeah, he really is, and just when his team needs him, and we talked about it maybe having, those other two step up, but, this is another great play style too. Have your third man in Gordon step up. Crotera and Shadow are going to put on the pressure, but when you got the real Gordon, oh my gosh, he almost put another one in. He almost did it once more. But when you got this guy merely, who's really trying to step up and try to will his team, he's really showing why, hey, you got to watch out for him too.
No, he absolutely is, and even you saw there that threatening shot, even though it didn't lead to a goal, put the Sirens in an awkward position, kept the pressure going, and it's definitely, made the Sirens a little bit more scared of his shooting. They thought, oh, well, Gordon, whenever he's back, we just dunk it right into the net, right? Nope, not how it's going to work. He's going to be farming you for goals at some points. Now an equal scoreline. Who will be the one to farm the next plant? That might be Crotera.
Oh.
Bring it all the way through. It's just off, and so many offensive plays going almost right here. You have to feel like it's only a matter of time before the Gambits score.
And they've had a couple of great opportunities. Then, oh my, no. Oh no. I don't know if that's a fake merely or what, but Gordon, he's going to find the hat trick.
You know, either way, we're going to give it to Shadow once again, just driving in front of the ball. Leaving. This time an easy cleanup for Gordon. Definitely not as impressive, but still absolutely popping off here with 3 goals in game number 4, and he is doing the most for his team. Now the Sirens, they still got 2 minutes. Can they bring it back? In fact, of course they can bring it back. Aiko, he's been the man to score when they're a man down, when they're a goal down, and he's doing it once again.
Yeah, and that's just a great pass off the backboard there, and Aiko, they just send it home. And it seems like, really, like you said, every time there's like a clutch scenario for the Sirens, they're down a little bit. It's been Aiko who's made that play, and the Sirens, they're the team that just seems like they're not going to die.
And really, so far they have not. They're trying to lure the Gambits into the ocean, into their territory. Now at an even scoreline, Nolly sending this one downfield. And the Sirens, if they can keep this up, they definitely can go to match point, excuse me. They definitely have what it takes, but gonna take a little bit more work. Aiko trying to center it himself. The Sirens still battling back.
Yeah, they still are here. Is this one? Here comes Gordon looking for a fourth, but this is going to pop up opportunity. A beautiful shot there. Going to force 2 Sirens to jump for that one. Is this one hanging towards the backboard? Nice little pass down. Crotera looking for the shot, but it's still off the post. Ball up one more time, and Shadow puts it home.
Oh no, and it was so close, but more offensive pressure from the Gambits. That whole time, I'm not going to lie, in my head, I'm just screaming, jump, 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 jump. Come on, Sirens, you got to get up there. But no one does, and the pressure is too much. The Gambits take another one. Can they tie this series up?
They very well may be able to do so, but again, we have seen the Sirens time and time again. When there's a deficit, they just find a way somehow. But right now, they find themselves in a 4-3 hole. Is this one going towards the net? Oh, Aiko just able to get the touch away. As now 1 minute remaining, this ball gonna be popped up. Crotera can't quite connect to that one. As Aiko gonna send it down. LeBerry diving in, it's out of the midfield. Here comes Nolly and Aiko. A little bit of a double commit though is gonna pinch that one away. An opportunity gonna be sent back towards their net, out of the midfield. Dangerous ball, but it's not gonna find the back to net. And barely 40 seconds left. The Sirens, they gotta go on the attack here.
And there it is. There it is.
My gosh.
Who else? Who else but Nolly to take it home, tie it up, and the Sirens, like you said, Austin, whenever you think they're out, they're not. They're always finding their way back into these games.
They really are, and it's, again, a Nolly masterclass as he puts it in the back of the net. 4-4 now with 35 seconds left. Can the Sirens do it? Can they take a 3-1 lead over the Gambits? They pull off this upset. LeBerry try to hold this one in the corner. LeBerry up over the ceiling, over the top of one, out in the midfield. Ball's gonna roll down. Shadow on the catch here, still in the Gambit zone. It's gonna be popped up high. Dangerous ball. It's floating down in the midfield, but 2 Sirens are gonna go for that one. Nolly trying to come through to get that one. It's Aiko. Last one back here. Gotta avoid the bump. Shot attempt. It's going towards the net, but LeBerry just on the goal line. Follow-up attempt. Crotera still put it back towards the net, but the Sirens lock it down in overtime yet again, merely. Can the Sirens make it 3-for-3 in OT?
Okay, overtime's supposed to be something special, you guys. Come on. My goodness. That one was so close. LeBerry barely gets back. It's the theme of the night, as I think that was a 9th save there for the Sirens. They've had to play so much defense. They're doing it so well. Crotera coming through, and wow, they stay alive once again. Sirens now trying to look for their own attack here. Will they be able to find it?
And they find Aiko trying to get it down to Nolly there, but now it's just LeBerry. One-on-one with Crotera, but Crotera can't quite get it towards the net. It's going to be sent off to the side. Shadow now looking to connect. They find a touch. Nolly looking to come through. Going to find a 50. It's LeBerry's up. Looking for the touch. Can't quite find it. This one sent back to the Siren zone. Aiko off the backboard. Dangerous ball. Crotera trying to come through. Looking to swerve it around here as the Sirens hold strong on the defensive end. Shadow Over to the side here. 50 gonna come through. Protera high off the backboard. It's just Nolly and Ned. Nolly gonna find that touch. Able to send it to the side there. But nearly a minute gone in overtime. Both these teams, Sirens had the early advantage, but now it seems like the Gambits are starting to put on the pressure, and Protera is gonna win the game and tie this series up.
And they are just inevitable. The Gambits keep pressing and pressing and pressing. The hydraulic press eventually will crush the Sirens as a great way to end it off there. And the Gambits, can you believe, is it barely 2-2 right now? I thought that was game 7. What in the world is going on?
Yeah, I mean, these guys, man, really, they are putting on a show. And, well, I mean, if things keep going the way they're going, we might be heading to that very map. Well, you know, we've got a guaranteed, really. We got a guaranteed Forbidden Temple, and that's what you love to see here in the semifinals of the Provisional League. You know, really, they don't lack the content. They give us all the content we could ask for here. And, you know, right now, the Gambits, I mean, what a battle back. They had 17 shots, merely 17 shots in that last game. They come on and win that game number 4.
That is absolutely ridiculous. 17 shots. I mean, you know, if you can't have quality over quantity, if you just gotta have the most quantity that anyone can possibly have. And right now the Gambits are definitely achieving that with their shot totals. A fantastic game number 4 to bring it back. And now it's once again anyone's series, no advantage once again. Let's see how this one plays out.
Here we go, folks. We're heading to game number 5 here. Winner is going to put themselves 1 game away from Saturday night to compete for a championship against Uprising in the Provisional League Grand Finals. But they got to get through this game here. Who is going to step up for their team? Gambits versus Sirens. This ball off to the side here. Gambits looking to start out early with its pressure. LeBerry going to find a touch. Cortera going to pop this one up high here. Can't quite find the touch, though. This ball staying in the zone. Gordon gonna connect there. Is this one out of the midfield? But LeBerry gonna send it down. It's just Cortera in the backfield. Gonna be able to get through, get that touch as a demo. Could be dangerous. It's just LeBerry to beat there, but that one can be sent off to the side. And you know, really, this game 5 so important here in the Gambits. They're starting off with the pressure.
Definitely. I mean, feels like we've had quite a few swing games already. This one, like you said, could be the most important. It's gonna put the victor on a match point, almost a championship point, because this one does feel like it could be a grand final, but at this point, they're still just playing for who gets there. Shadow going towards the net here, and it's all important. Who will strike first? Who will get that momentum barrier broken? Let's find out.
Both these teams are fighting here. It's Cortera up now, trying to get a goal for the Gambits, going through, looking for a dunk of his own there on the Sirens, but Nolly and the defense able to lock it down with this ball out in the midfield. Here comes Cortera for the shot. The read is perfection.
And they're continuing right where they left off. That's a fantastic shot from Cortera there. Reading it perfectly right into the top bins. You can't ask for better. And the Gambits taking another lead, but as we've seen so far, that 1-goal lead doesn't really mean much, especially in the beginning phases of the game.
Yeah, it doesn't really, as we have seen multiple comebacks here in this one, but maybe not in this one, as Cortera is back again for his second.
Now a 2-goal lead. We haven't seen too many of those so far in this series. Maybe this one will be slightly different. Aiko just barely getting beat out there by Cortera. He's the man in this game number 5. He's popping off and he's putting in the work. Will he continue?
Yeah, we will have to see here, as this is a great start here for the Gambits. They look to put themselves 1 win away from Saturday night, but the Sirens gonna try to dive in here. Cortera is up, gonna find 1 touch. It's hanging around in their zone, ball out in front of the net, opportunity, but Gordon just enough of a touch as everyone went for that ball on both teams. It's now gonna be cleared out. Opportunity for the Gambits, but Nolly gonna get it away for the moment. Cortera waiting back. LeBerry gonna dive through. It's a demo. It's gonna open up some space there for Cortera. But a quick challenge from Aiko. Gonna get on the midfield. An absolutely massive dunk, but even a bigger save there from Shadow, as I thought for sure barely that one was finding its way through.
You know, I guess that's what happens after you get dunked for like 4 goals in a series. You finally wise up and start getting ready for the play that no one can expect. That's some fantastic defense from the Gambits. And if I'm being honest, I'm a little bit scared for the Sirens in this position. The Gambits really seem to have found what is working in this series.
Yeah, they really have, and with a 2-goal lead here, we're gonna need some more magic from the Sirens. Maybe, especially from that man, Nolly, and Aiko gonna send one on the back where Cortera just gonna get that touch away. It's this one off to the side. Cortera gonna chase it down. It's just LeBerry waiting back there. Is that one gonna be sent away to the side? Gordon diving in quickly, but it's gonna be a big opportunity for a clear. Nolly down to LeBerry off the backboard, gonna drop down. Nolly looking for the dunk this time, but two members from both teams commit on that one. It's going to go in the Gambits' favor this time as they're trying to take it down towards the net. It's going to be pinched away. Cortera sliding through, actually going to send it off to the side there, and really closing in on a minute and a half remaining in this game 5. The Sirens find themselves down by 2. How are they going to be able to bring it back here in this one? Or are they going to have to look for game 6?
Of course, it's all going to start with that first goal, but when they're doing this well, Dr. Shadow just barely puts that off. They do manage to keep it at only a 2-goal lead, but things are starting to look slightly dire for the Sirens. All this pressure, and they've been able to deal with it for most of the game so far. Oh, that's a huge fake, and the flick. Can't quite find it. With a minute left, the Sirens are going to have to pull out something big here to get this game win.
Yeah, they're going to need a miracle, really, at this point. But still a minute remaining. It is definitely possible. Aiko going to send it up. Nolly waiting in the midfield. 2 Gambits defenders are going to go on that wall. As this one going to be blocked by LeBerry. It's going to pop up by Aiko and Nolly. Probably going to leave it for Aiko, but not quite able to get down on target as Aiko looking for the bump. Gordon going to take control. No one from the Sirens challenging quite yet. As there comes LeBerry with the dunk there. Nolly high off the backboard. Shadow trying to find that read. He does. The seconds taken away here in this game number 5. This ball, LeBerry can't quite find the touch. This ball just dangerous, floating the midfield. Cortera, another touch to the side, but the Sirens, they got to score with at least some time remaining. This ball in midfield. Sirens not willing to go quite yet. This one popped up. Gordon, uh-oh, dangerous ball, and LeBerry gonna give the Sirens just enough hope.
There's no way we get another overtime, right? Like, no way.
16
right?
seconds.
16 seconds.
They did it last time
One
on
more
16
goal.
seconds.
This time it's LeBerry stepping up. I mean, we've seen some blatant scripts. Let's see if the Sirens can get one more goal here. So close to overtime, but so far with how well the Gambits have been playing.
Will we see overtime? Final 10 seconds. The Sirens, they have to strike. Shadow gonna find a touch. It's still dangerous around here. The Sirens, they both go for it. As this ball sent out, sent away, and sent to a game number 6. And sending the Gambits one win away from the Provisional League Grand Finals.
And there you have it. The Gambits bring it all the way here. Now on the match point. Sirens, of course, makes sense. They're asking for a timeout here. We'll have a little bit of time to cool off, a little bit of time to reflect. And although that game, you know, it wasn't necessarily not a close game, it really felt like the Gambits, after a few games, have found their rhythm here.
Yeah, I mean, they really have nearly. They battled it back, you know, and it's impressive because the Sirens, who, by the way, have called their timeout here before we get into this game 6, they played so well in the first couple of games. They battled back from the brink, and honestly, all these games have been close. The Sirens almost brought it back, but I mean, really in this last game here, it felt like Gambits had the control, and the Sirens hoping this timeout will give them something back.
And we'll have to see if the timeout buff is real. This is the last timeout, of course. They don't have any more chances. No more game losses to take. Sirens now facing match point. At least, though, for their sake, it is on Forbidden Temple. And what we know happens on Forbidden Temple is that things usually delve into chaos. And it feels like that's what the Sirens need right now. They were playing a real scrappy game, training back and forth. As soon as it felt like some rotations were established for the Gambits, they really got into a groove that it felt like has been hard for the Sirens to break out of. They might need a little bit more here, but maybe Forbidden Temple can do some work for them.
Hey, you know what? A Forbidden Temple does work for everyone. You know, especially those chaos lovers, which I know, a lot of people are. I like some chaos. I like some content, you can't complain about content. And, for the Sirens here, what do they have? What do they have in the tank here? The timeout, what are they talking it over here? Merely, if you're them, what are you saying? How are you going to take this game 6 and inspire a team into a game 7?
Yeah, I would say it just has to be interrupting the flow of the Gambits, getting demos, getting better clears. It in the provisional league, it's not always easy to, just say play style things and then do them. But you have to control what you can, and getting more demos, trying to just, not double commit as much, double commit slightly less. These things can be a world of help when you're down and you're facing. But as we get into this game now, the last life for the Sirens, can they pull it out? Or are we going to be going to only a game 6? That's a fantastic shot, but it's just off. Aiko so close to scoring, but still some good signs of life for the Sirens here early on.
Yeah, some good signs of life indeed, as that one was almost the shot that they needed to give them the lead here, give them some inspiration, and especially in this game 6, you gotta lock in, you gotta perform now. It's your season on the line here. The shot, Gordon wants to end them here and now.
And Gordon was these games. He's coming back to try and make it his game once again. A nice shot past 2 defenders, spawed the opening, and the Gambits once again picking up where they left off, keeping this pressure going. Sirens have to push back.
Yeah, and we're going to need a quick answer from the Sirens. The timeout did not give them that opportunity for that first goal, as this one with the Gambits. They were looking for it. What do the Sirens have in the tank here? This ball out in the midfield. Sirens going to send this one up high. This one floating towards the net. Gordon going to find a touch off to the side. Sirens looking for the shot. It's off the backboard. Opportunity, but denied away. And a minute gone by. The Gambits hold on to their 1-0 lead here. Can they add to it, or will the Sirens be able to bring it back? This ball high off the backboard. Dangerous ball for Aiko. They can't connect, and Gordon, again, he has been the man for this team. Stepping up a big, again, merely second goal.
It's Gordon again. Of course, he puts it in a fantastic spot on the backboard where he knows it'll be awkward for Aiko to get a touch. Once he can't, I mean, he's just walking the dog right on in there. Routine goal for Gordon himself. And now the 2-0 lead. Things are looking a little bit dicey for the Sirens, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it is getting a little bit dicey here for the Sirens. They need to find a way to strike back. They've done so well in this series. And led off the back of Nolly. I want to see something from Nolly. It's got to be Nolly and Aiko here. They have connected a couple times. And we got to see something here as this ball out of the midfield. Dangerous ball, Aiko. Can't quite turn it around, but here comes a shot off the backboard. Nolly trying to get out to it, but the dunk is only going to send it to the side. As the time is ticking here for the Sirens. Still a lot of time, but every second that ticks past merely is a second closer to their season ending.
And they can definitely smell it in the air. That's
no.
a huge dunk. No,
Whoa,
wait.
No.
The own goal. It was so close to being out. And I think it was out, but the Sirens, they put it back in. Absolute disaster. And you can see it there. That is disheartening. Now they have to reach even deeper.
And that is heartbreaking here. The chaos of Forbidden Temple has found the Sirens there with the own goal. And now merely they got to really do the impossible, or so it seems. Come back from a 3-0 deficit in this game number 6 to force a game 7 to bring themselves back. Can they do it here? This ball is up, an opportunity, and the shot going to go off the post, just so close. LeBerry looking for the placement here. Going to send it off the backboard, looking for the double tap, and oh my goodness, LeBerry.
Okay, LeBerry. I mean, we've been talking about Nally and Aiko. LeBerry's been doing some work too, but that's a great double, and that's a nice confidence booster. Exactly what you need to get 2 more goals in quick succession after this one. And Sirens, they're not done just yet.
Oh, wait a minute, folks. That goal brings it in, and we're right back to a 2-goal game as we approach the halfway point of game number 6 here. The Gambits send this one off the backboard there. A double comes through. Shadow, maybe not quite intentional, but it works out in the midfield. Here comes Shadow in the midfield. Going to try to find that 50. But not quite going to go as Cortera is waiting, trying to keep the pressure on the Sirens there. As it looks like Shadow just going to try to take it back, wasting some time away. This ball going to go to the midfield. Nolly tried to steal the boost or the ball there. Didn't get either. This one going to allow the Gambits to stay on the pressure. This ball dunked out towards the net. Nolly can't quite connect. Could be dangerous here. LeBerry going to try to find that touch. Can't quite do it. Is this one? We popped up high. Opportunity here for the Gambits. But it's going to be denied away. And right now, the Gambits, merely they're putting them in a little bit of a chokehold here.
And this is what they've been doing for the last 3 games now. The Sirens have to find a way to break out. They have to find a way to keep this ball out. LeBerry, a fantastic save. He's doing it all on defense and offense. But is it enough? That one's going to go high. And Crotera will put it in, brings it back, and 4-1 for the Gambits.
Look at this play, the 1, 2, and the 3 there for these guys. Crotera finding top bins and a minute 36 back to a 3-goal lead. The Sirens, they are going to have to pull out one heck of a miracle. But again, we have seen them come back. We've seen some crazy things. We've seen overtimes in this series, but we don't need to see this. Oh my goodness. And this one out of the midfield. Crotera is going to put it in and collapse on the Sirens defense.
You know, I'm running out of it's still doables in me. I don't know about this one. The pressure's so much. The Gambits putting on a clinic, now up 4 goals, and they might have woken up just in time to take that ticket with them, take their grand finals appearance. I don't want to say it's over quite yet, but things are looking rough for the Sirens.
Yeah, they might have to pull out the biggest miracle in Nemesis history as they find themselves down 5-1, minute 15 remaining here. Can they do it, or will the Gambits, 2 seed, head to the grand finals to take on Uprising? This ball popping up high, a miss comes through, opportunity, but Gordon being massive like he has all game, all series. He's able to clear that one away. Under a minute now. The Sirens need to find 4, or they are going home. This ball out of the midfield, the pinch, and Crotera is going to flick it by him. My goodness. He takes it home, and he may have just sealed the deal.
Okay, I think they're just freestyling now. What in the world was that?
Yeah,
Crotera carries it through the defender. Interesting.
Yeah, that one was a little bit interesting. You got the double commit, but at that point, merely, if you're the Gambits, you're up 5-1. Why not just send the house there, try to get one more? They do. And now, well, I guess we're on Brazil watch, folks, as we're down to the final moments here, and Gambits just gonna be happy to waste away the time. The Sirens season, as good as it was, as much as they have done here, well, they're gonna find a one. Nolly, you know, not going out sad here, gonna find a goal, 6-2.
There we go. You know, they'll get one back on the board, of course. It's Nolly. And, you know, you could say what you want, but this was a fantastic series overall. I mean, technically, still not over mathematically. Realistically, probably not possible. But what you can't say is that the Sirens didn't put up a fantastic fight. They were absolutely 100% in this until almost all the way to the end. This game, maybe a little bit of a chalked one, unfortunately, but a great performance nonetheless as we close out the final minutes here, and basically just a victory loop for the Gambits.
Yeah, they are going to be heading to the grand finals here, and really that is actually the 2nd straight season that this team will be going to the grand finals. Formerly the Jesters, now the Gambits. They have made it back here to the grand finals. The Gambits, they have done it, folks. To the grand finals they go on Saturday night.
And what a fantastic way to do it. You know, we talked about that 3-week break. I think that might have still had an effect earlier on in the series, because the team that we saw at the end here did not look like the same team we saw at the beginning. The Gambits absolutely warming up, stepping up, and just continuing to apply that pressure and be clinical towards the end. A fantastic performance by them. And once again, congratulations to the Sirens for making it this far and making it a great series as well.
Yeah, I mean, they did give us the content. It seemed like there were a couple of times merely one more bounce goes their way and we could have been headed in distance. But, you know, it does happen sometimes, and the Sirens, they gave it a valiant effort. But the Gambits, too much to handle there. So big congratulations to them. They will be taking on Uprising, 6 p.m. Eastern on Saturday night, the grand finals. It's going to be spicy. Really, it's gonna be a fun night on Saturday. We got a lot of great grand finals matchups.
Oh yeah, it most certainly will. I mean, of course, it's the grand finals, and if they're going to be anything like these games we've seen, especially tonight, well, we're going to definitely be in for a treat. But before then, I believe we do still have one more series.
No, we're done. We got that one out a little earlier. We actually had a forfeit, so we got that pre-recorded match out. So we saw that one. So that's actually it merely for the stream. Before we do go, actually, we do have one thing to say. We got to shout out Mr. Dukes for 19-month resub. Much love to you for the resub there. We appreciate it. But yeah, merely that is actually it. We did, if you guys didn't miss it earlier, we did move the Griffin Snowstorm match up to fill that 7 p.m. blank spot. So the stream is coming to an end, and next time we are back, it will be on Saturday night, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. It's a little early, but we'll have the pre-show here as always, the grand finals pre-show. We got 6 great matchups, 6 champions to crown here. Merely, It's gonna be an exciting time for sure.
Of course it's going to be. It's the Nemesis Grand Finals, baby. I'm hyped for it. I'll be there watching with my popcorn, maybe doing a little bit of casting. We'll see how it goes. All I know, all these winners definitely very deserving. And thank you for casting with me, Rocker Man. It seems like we always get bangers, I gotta say.
We do get some bangers. You gotta love it. You gotta love the content. But that is it for us tonight here. Congratulations to everyone who made the grand finals Saturday night. Be there, be ready. Tell your friends, get everyone out there. Let's have a hype stream here. Let's crown some champions. 5:30 p.m. Eastern for the pre-show, followed by the provisional grand finals at 6 p.m. We'll be streaming all night. You guys don't want to miss it, so make sure you guys stick around and have a great night, everyone.